Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Naila Tauhida, student number 205 from Group 8. Today, I'd like to present on the topic, the influence of inflation, export-import, and fixed investment on gross domestic product from 1990 to 2023. This analysis examines how macroeconomic variables such as inflation, export-import, and investment affect economic growth in Indonesia. The aim is to understand how these three variables interact and influence Indonesian GDP during two periods. The variables used in this analysis are one is the independent variable, which is gross domestic product. X1 or the first independent variable is inflation. X2 is export-import, and X3 is fixed investment. Thank you.
Okay, for the next slide is research and method. Firstly, let me introduce myself. My name is Asri Malika Dinata with study number 168. So everyone can see on the left side, this is the table of rationalization of variables. The variable name of the dependent is gross domestic product with symbol GDP, and the measurement is current US dollar. And data source we use of all variables is World Bank, which only focus on Indonesia country, and the variable independent one is inflation with symbol INF. The measurement is percent. Variable independent 2 is export and import with symbol is XM. The measurement is constant local currency unit. And variable independent 3, fixed investment, and the symbol is I. The measurement is constant local currency unit. And then to analyze the influence of several independent variables on variable dependent, the study employs multiple linear regression analysis. The econometric model is formulated as follows. Everyone can see on the right side, this is the GDP equals C. C is the constant plus the symbol is coefficient regression 1, INF. Coefficient regression 2, export and import, plus coefficient regression 3, I, and plus this symbol is error term. And next is method of our variables using the classical assumption test. The first is normality test. This test verifies whether the residual errors of the regression model are normally distributed. And second is multicollinearity test. It can be detected using the variance inflation factor, VIF, and the tolerance values is more than 10.0. And third is heteroscedasticity test. This test uses the Glaser with the probability value of each independent variable more than 0.05. And the last is autocorrelation test. Can be detected LM test with prob chi-square value more than 0.05. And next is t-test. This t-test assess whether a regression coefficient significantly differs from 0, assuming other variables are held constant. If the p-value is less than 0.05, the zero hypothesis H0 is rejected, indicating the variable has a significant effect on the dependent variable. And then F-test is in multiple linear regression are used to test the significance of entire model. If the significance value more than 0.05, then H0 is rejected, indicating that the model has a significant simultaneous effect. So that is all from me. For the next slide.
Okay, I'm Salma Ardiana Putri with NPM number is 202. I will explain about the normality test. You guys see in the table, which is the normality test result, so a Jar-Cubera value of 0.177 to 0.5 with a probability of 0.915 to 0.9, which is well above the significance level of 0.05. This indicates that there is no deviation from the normal distribution in the residual depth. It means the regression model passes the normality test. Second is multicollinearity test. Based on the VIF multicollinearity test results, it can be concluded that there is no multicollinearity problem from the their independent variable used. This can be seen in the standard VIF value of the their independent variable less than 10. Third is heteroscedasticity test. Based on the result of the Gletser test, the probability value for the variable x1, x2, and x3 are 0.1281, 0.2243, and 0.1040, respectively. These probability values are greater than the significance level of 0.05, indicating that the model passes the heteroscedasticity test. And the last is autocorrelation test. The test results show that the prob chi-square2 value is 0.4130 and the prob F is 227. Value is 0.4754, both of which are greater than 0.05. This indicates that there is no indicating of autocorrelation in the regression model. Therefore, the model passes the autocorrelation test.
Okay, next, my name is Siva Ainun Azmi with, ulang. Bentar. Okay, my name is Siva Ainun Azmi with class NPM 180. I will explain based on the regression results. Inflation has a negative and significant effect on GDP, meaning that higher inflation tends to reduce economic growth. P equals 0.0397. Export and import have a positive and significant effect, indicating that international trade support GDP growth. P equals 0.0007. Big investment also has a positive and highly significant effect on GDP. P equals 0.000. The F-test show that all three variables are jointly significant in influencing GDP. The R-squared value of 97.52% indicates that the model explains all the variance in GDP, making it a strong and reliable model. Maybe next slide.
Okay, next, my name is Risma Sulistiawati with final NPM 187. I will explain the discussion section. The first, the effect of inflation on gross domestic product or GDP. Based on the regression results, show that inflation has a significant negative effect on GDP. This indicates that when inflation increases, economic growth as measured by the GDP indicator will decrease, because rising inflation reduces people purchasing power, hampers consumption and investment, and creates economic uncertainty that leads to a slowdown in economic growth. The second, the effect of export and import on GDP. The regression results show that export and import have a significant positive effect on GDP. This indicates that the higher the international trade activities through export and import, the higher the economic growth of a country. This is because high international trade activities support economic growth through increased foreign exchange earning, technology transfer, and the provision of capital goods, as well as enhanced competitiveness and national productivity. The third, the effect of fixed investment on GDP. Based on the regulation, results show that fixed investment has a significant positive effect on GDP. This indicates that fixed investments still provide a strong contribution in driving economic growth in a region, because an increase in fixed investment expands production capacity, creates jobs, and strengthens long-term economic growth through the multiplier effect.
Okay, next, the conclusion. The study examined the relationship between inflation, export, import, investment, and economic growth in Indonesia from 1993 to 2023. The research clearly showed that inflation has a negative and statistically significant effect on economic growth. This means that when inflation rises, it tends to slow down the growth of the economy. In contrast, export, import, and investment all have a positive and significant effect on Indonesia's gross domestic product. This indicates that active participation in trade in increased investment play a crucial role in driving the country's economic growth. Overall, the findings suggest that to support long-term and sustainable economic development in Indonesia, it is important for the government to control inflation, encourage investment, and strengthen trade activities. Okay, that's all the presentation from our group. Thank you, and sorry if there are still many mistakes.